Audiomack recently released their top 10 most streamed African artists of 2023 on their platform, and the list really reveals a lot about African music right now, like who's leading the way, and Audiomack as the biggest free music app in Africa. Let me go through this top 10 list first, and then I'll add some commentary on the biggest takeaways and some of the changes on Audiomack going into 2024 and how they might affect the list for this year. Buckle up. This is the no BS version. And of course, if you do like this channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and that's how these videos keep coming. Let's get into the list of most streamed African artists on Audiomack, and at number 10, we have Bella Shmurda. At number 9, we've got Black Sheriff. Number 8, Kiss Daniel. Number 7, Zinoliski. Number 6, Davido. At number 5, Omar Lay. Number 4, Mobad. Number 3, Burna Boy. Number 2, Ashake. And number 1 most streamed African artist on Audiomack for 2023 is Shay Vibes. Upon looking at this list, a few things stand out instantly. For example, 9 out of the 10 acts in the most streamed African artists on Audiomack are from Nigeria, aside from Black Sheriff, who's from Ghana. There are a variety of reasons why this is the case, and some are pretty obvious, like Nigeria is doing really well on the music front anyway, across Africa and in the world. We've seen that even with the Grammy nominations and everything else for 2024. Now, something that sticks out to me is Audiomack's positioning anyway, because Audiomack has adopted a really interesting strategy, I think, in the last 4 to 5 years specifically, where they're not necessarily trying to, disrupt Spotify or Apple Music, who are like the biggest ones out there, but they're trying to exist on their own and catering mostly to the continent of Africa and then other places where the model for music is not quite the same as the Western countries. And I thought this was a brilliant move, considering the fact that you're going to see growth in stats like internet penetration across Africa from year to year, which means more people are going to be looking for streaming platforms. But one of the major issues that has always existed in the African landscape is that when it comes to payments, like credit card payments and having good access to streaming platforms, that's where a lot of problems need to be solved in African music moving into the future. There are many African countries, for example, that don't use PayPal, and you get scenarios where either PayPal does not exist at all in that country, or there might be issues like, say, in South Africa. I know for the average person, the setup in getting PayPal payments and then the amounts they charge just for receiving that, well, the banks, is ridiculous, and most people are not going to do it. And Audiomack, in realizing this, actually kept their app and music free for all this time. They have changed in the last maybe 2 months or so, and now you find some songs are not accessible on the platform unless you're subscribed. So this will undoubtedly impact the listening habits over time, but we'll have to wait and see, particularly as 2024 unfolds, to see how that affects their business. The other glaring thing about this list is that there are no women on the list. My first initial thought was maybe this is platform specific, considering that we haven't done any analysis on top 10s on Audiomack anyway. This is the first one. But looking at the Spotify Wrapped 2023 top albums for Nigeria, the top 5 albums were all by males, and there was Timeless by Davido, Workofat by Ashake, Boy Alone by Omar Lay, Ezioku by Odumodu Black, and then I Told Them by Burna Boy. So that's something that we've been seeing on other platforms too, and it begs the question, what happens at this level when it comes to artists like Thames, Ira Star, Yemi Alade, who are like top of the game, Tiwa Savage and all of those. I would love to know your thoughts on this one, so do share your comments below, and let's have a healthy discussion around it. The other point that stands out for me is we get a lot of the usual suspects. It was interesting to see Shay Vibes at #1 though, and then the inclusion of Mo Bad, who passed away sadly a few months ago. And I also think the story around his passing away really pushed a lot of his music in the latter part of the year, and it was such a strong push as well. So people really loved what he had on offer for the audience. The inclusion of Zinoliski as well, and then Bella Shmurda. And these are highly niched artists, and they have fiercely loyal cult followings, which I found interesting. And with Audiomack being, the biggest free app in Africa, or at least was until they started pushing for monetization a couple of months ago, it would be interesting to unpack the type of demographic that exists in Nigeria on the platform, specifically looking for music. Other than that, I could say it's easy to see the dominance of Nigerian music is, on display, and Audiomack really reinforces that. And there's a cultural influence in the music and the appeal of Nigerian music, as it were. And then when it comes to the platform in itself, you might find, other areas, other parts of Africa, like East Africa, are probably going to be using more of like Boomplay. The southern part of Africa, I'm not really sure which app right now is the one that's, the top one, but I don't know if it's Audiomack or it's Boomplay. And because Audiomack established their first African office in Lagos, Nigeria in 2020, and I believe it's likely their only office at this point in time, it only makes sense that the growth of the numbers and the bulk of them are going to be in Nigeria. And it does make sense to be in Nigeria because as the market that's really been pushing African music to the world better than any other market that's there in Africa right now, you have to go where the numbers are, right? And we can see the reflection in this top 10. Should Audiomack add more offices in different places, then I think we're also going to see a bit more of a push and promo for artists from those places. And then this top 10 might become a mix of different countries. And there you have it, the top 10 most streamed African artists of 2023 on Audiomack. If you like this video, do give it the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, that's it for me. My name is MJ Wemoto, son of Zimbabwe, signing out. Peace. Ndende.